Welcome back to Only Talk Sports, and there's been breaking news. Damian Lillard has been traded to the Milwaukee Bucks. For a long part of the offseason, it looked like he was going to be going to the Miami Heat, but a trade finally got done, and there's a lot more to unpack here with this trade. Damian Lillard is no longer a Portland Trailblazer. He is finally going to be on a team where he can possibly win an NBA title for the first time in his career, and he will be pairing with Giannis Antetokounmpo at Milwaukee, but a lot had to get done for this trade to happen. If you look at the trade deal, it's a part of three teams. You have the Portland Trailblazers, obviously the team that Damian Lillard came from, that makes sense, but the Phoenix Suns are also a part of this deal as well. But for the Portland Trailblazers part of it, Damian Lillard is going to be traded to Milwaukee, and the Portland Trailblazers are getting Jrue Holiday, Deandre Ayton, Toumani Camara, a 2029 unprotected Milwaukee first, and unprotected Milwaukee swap rights in 2028 and 2030 to the Blazers. Now, that's crazy right there, because I think that in a way that the Portland Trailblazers are really building toward the future. You're getting a young center in DeAndre Ayton, who, even though he hasn't really reached the heights that a lot of people are expecting him to reach, he's still a solid player. Jrue Holiday, he's an older player, but he's a good defensive guy that probably would be able to help some of the younger guys for the Portland Trailblazers get better at defense. Toumani Camara is solid, even though he's a really young player. So I don't really think that the Portland Trailblazers got a bad deal here, even though losing Damian Lillard is a tough loss. He was their best player by far, but Damian Lillard was never going to win a title with the Portland Trailblazers, and I think that they made the right move for Damian Lillard to go to another team and to get a lot of players in return while Damian Lillard was still a very valuable player. It makes all the sense in the world. It makes sense for the Bucks. Even though losing Jrue Holiday, that's a really tough loss for Milwaukee, and I think that their defensive presence is not going to be as solid as it was before, but you had to get rid of somebody good to get Damian Lillard, and that's what had to happen. But then you look at the Phoenix Suns. They get Jusuf, Nurkic, Grayson Allen, Nazir Little, and Keon Johnson. That's wild. I don't know if Phoenix is necessarily getting anybody that special out of that group, but Grayson Allen is a solid three-point shooter, and Nazir Little, he is a guy that is a capable player that's really young, and he could get a lot better. Nurkic is a solid center, and Keon Johnson, he can play as well. So it's not like Phoenix is necessarily in bad shape, because you got to remember they already have the star players of Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, and I do feel like that the players that they're adding in are just going to be able to kind of help build around the star players that they had. DeAndre Ayton never really reached the heights that Phoenix was looking for, so I don't really think that Phoenix has kind of messed themselves up with the trade either. I think that they're getting some solid rotational players that can kind of complement the stars that they have. And for Damian Lillard, again, going to Milwaukee, it makes all the sense in the world, because it does not mean he's going to win an NBA title, but he deserves to have a chance. And at Portland, on the timeline that he's had, at the age that he's at, he's in his low 30s, he's getting older, he's not going to be in the prime of his career for much longer, and Portland was such a young team. They were never going to be a great team while he was there. Once Damian Lillard started to age out, that's when the younger guys probably would have started getting better, and it would have been too late for Damian Lillard to win anything with Portland. Now you're going to Milwaukee, where even though they're losing Jrue Holiday, which I will reiterate is a very tough loss, Giannis Antetokounmpo is a fantastic player. You've got Chris Middleton. They've got some other players that are solid. I feel like Damian Lillard, at least in the next couple years, will have a shot to win an NBA title. With Giannis Antetokounmpo, you're going to have one of the best centers in all of the NBA and in all of the basketball world, and you got Damian Lillard, one of the most clutch shooters in the NBA. He can shoot the ball from anywhere, and he puts up in a ridiculous amount of points. His points might take a step back being paired next to Giannis, but his efficiency might go up. I think it's a perfect pairing to have Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo together. Even with all the smoke that Lillard was going to Miami, I almost think that the Bucks is a better fit. I think it's a really good decision for him to go there. They needed a lead guard that is as good as he is, and I think that this trade all around helps all three teams. If the Bucks can win a title, though, they've won the trade, because that is what they want to do. That's what Damian Lillard wants to do. I hope that he'll have a really good shot to win an NBA title. It'll be nice to see him get a ring, but we'll have to see. He's going to have to work really hard, though, with Giannis and do it in the next couple years, because once he starts declining a little bit, when he gets a little bit older, it's probably going to reduce his chances of being able to achieve that. I think that Portland did a good job of building for the future, and if they can really get some of these young, talented players that they have, that they've drafted in recent drafts, and then getting DeAndre Ayton and maybe Jrue Holiday can help teach the younger players what it means to be a really solid NBA player and play on the defensive end, then Portland could potentially win the trade. They also got a first-round pick as well in 2029 that they can play with. I think think that the Portland Trailblazers did a good job getting a lot in return for Lillard. And then Phoenix made some interesting moves. Didn't get anybody that's that explosive and that really pops off the page, but they got a lot of guys that are going to be able to play around Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. So I don't really think that they did a bad job in the trade either. But I feel like for the Bucks, if they want to win this trade, they have to win a title or at least get really close with Damian Lillard. I like this trade. It's a massive blockbuster deal, but good for Damian Lillard to have a shot now to win an NBA title. And now the next question is, will he be able to achieve that? Subscribe to the channel if you like sports content. Like this video down below. Comment down below what you think about the Damian Lillard trade and whether you feel like the Milwaukee Bucks, the Portland Trailblazers, and the Phoenix Suns, which team you feel like won or lost this trade, and whether you like this trade as a whole or not. Follow me on Twitter as well. Link is in the description, and I will see you next time.